Our meeting today was informed by an expression of interest that has been indicated by one of our potential partners called Ignite Africa. You'll recall that when the Kanyaboli tragedy happened, the leadership of Siaya County, led by Governor James Orengo, went to the site and did preliminary assessments of the damage that there was. And Governor sent out word there, making an appeal to government entities, to potential partners, and just well-wishers out there to support, given the kind of huge infrastructural requirement that was occasioned by that damage following the river, the lake bursting its banks. We are glad that a number of partners have positively responded. We did develop a concept that we shared out, and we got a response from Ignite Africa telling us about a company based in Israel that have expressed interest to come and help us clean up Lake Kanyaboli. Part of the cleanup, of course, will involve the silting and a few other works that will be needed. So we sat today with the various stakeholders, with the KWS, Kenya Forest Services, Friends of Lake Kanyaboli, Nature Kenya, the Water Resource Management Authority, and a few other stakeholders, so that we discuss what could be the potential effects of this partner coming on board, and what are some of the conditions that we may want them to abide by as they help us in this intervention. So we've had a very robust discussion. All of us agree that there's need to rebuild the infrastructure so that the water levels are restored. There's need to desilt the lake so that it's cleaned up and all the debris in there is removed, so that the water levels can normalize both in terms of quantity and quality going forward. We also have other partnerships that we are looking at. We've had representation from what is called Ecology Without Borders. These are people that previously, did similar works in Uganda and other parts of the world, so they have also expressed interest. We'll be hearing about them. Plus several other, we've recently visited this place with the Iranian ambassador and a few other potential partners. So our reassurance to the people of Kanyaboli and the people of Siaya is that the county government is leading efforts to ensure that the lake is restored, both the infrastructure and the livelihoods.
Today, we've just had a stakeholders meeting, high influence stakeholders meeting on Lake Kanyaboli. As you know, Lake Kanyaboli recently suffered a disaster when it broke one of its banks and affected a number of communities' livelihoods, especially in agriculture sector. So few farms were washed away, destroying the livelihoods of the community and therefore interfering with their food security situation. But the most serious impact was felt in Busia County, where even classrooms, the roads were actually destroyed as a result of the gushing out of the water following the breaking out of the dikes. And so as a post-recovery measure, of course, there's a rehabilitation of the dike going on, sponsored by the Siaya County government. But as a post-recovery measure, we decided to take stock of our natural wealths, Lake Kanyaboli just being one of them in Siaya County, and what potential or economic potential lies in them. And that basically is what we talked about here. We talked of the potential for green spotting with the 42-kilometer ring road around it. It's a potential site for actually even full marathon races, and this is where we thought we could even invite a number of partners who are championing sporting activities, Safaricom Foundation, the banks and the major players in the private sector. So we could even actually profile Siaya as a sporting area, actually, where we could even do the full marathons around Lake Kanyaboli, and of course coupled with the neighborhood where we have the mountain ecosystem posed by Akara Hills, we could even be doing mountain skiing from the Akara Hills neighboring and into the lake for even water sporting, and those are some of the areas we could draw levies in and actually improve our revenues as a county government.